Hello, 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 hello! How is everybody doing today? It is a gloomy... What day is today? Monday! It's a gloomy Monday afternoon where I'm at. Hopefully it's a lot nicer where you are. And I am ready to do... well, exactly what I've been planning to do for a little while. Let me hop right in here so we'll get started. Oh yeah, I've fixed basically nothing from yesterday's stream, by the way, so hopefully everything works. Where's my music? Oh, it is there, it's just really quiet. Alright, cool, how's everybody doing today? I am streaming on all the platforms I normally do, plus Twitter, and it looks like I've already got 3 views or 3 viewers. I don't know exactly how that works, but we're gonna find out. So today, I'm gonna be doing another tier list. I have not done one of these since I believe the first week or second week I started streaming, so it's been a minute. But today we're gonna be doing an anime tier list. I'm a big anime fan, if that was not made clear by my presentation here. But there is a lot to look at. There's a lot I haven't seen, so you're gonna find out really quick that I don't watch any of the big 3. I prefer stuff that has come out somewhat recently, mixed in with some extra stuff that is a little bit older, and I appreciate it for one reason or another. But without further ado, I guess we'll get right into it. Hopefully I have everything configured correctly, and just a disclaimer, I will be dropping a lot of these because I don't know them. Oh, did it work? Note the transition did not work. Okay. Windowed, maybe. Does windowed work? Windowed would work. Let's try. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. I don't know why it didn't work. I'm going to have to play around with that a little bit. But with that, I figure we hop right into it. So first of all, if you don't know me, my name is Micah. I am a indie VTuber here on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and Twitter. I have a Discord. If you want to chat with me, you're welcome to hop in there. It's open to anybody and everybody who's interested. And I do this kind of content all the time. So if you enjoy watching big dorky me, you know, going around just chatting about anime, playing games, getting scared. I do sing. I haven't done that yet, but I'm thinking about it. I'll probably need to get a standing desk because I end up collapsing my diaphragm as I'm sitting here. So hopefully I can get that taken care of. But I guess with that, we'll go ahead and get right into it. So, wow, that is one to start with. Shield Hero. Yeah, before I do that, let me reset my model. This is sort of a last minute stream. Where's my settings? There's my settings. This is sort of a last minute stream. I didn't really have intentions to do this at this hour per se, but it just kind of happened. There we go. Want to capture all my emotions properly so you guys can see them, and I'm not just sitting here stone-faced, because that's not what's actually happening. I am putting in the effort. Micah's avatar does not want to cooperate, so... Alright, yeah, so Shield Hero. So, honestly, I thought the first season of Shield Hero was phenomenal. I thought it was really good. Second season was... I can't remember. Was it second or third season? I honestly can't remember. I think it was second season, first arc, if I'm not mistaken, was the Spirit Tortoise. My sister and I joke about that all the time. It was by far the worst arc. And it's not just me and my sister that agree on this. I've talked with several of my friends who watch the show, and they all agree. The Spirit Tortoise arc was the worst. Honestly, joking a little bit about it, but not too much. Also bringing up the fact that this most recent season, season 4, which I am watching, by the way, and I made it clear the only reason I'm even watching it anymore at this point is because I like the characters. I don't really care too much about the plot where it's going, because it seems like they keep talking about the Great Cataclysm, this and that. It's like, it's not really doing it for me. You know, there's better stories out there. There's a lot of better anime than this. But yeah, the most recent arc was the fighting the lion arc. And the moment that we saw him, immediately my sister and I both went, oh, we don't like this guy. This guy's suspicious. And yeah, spoiler warning, he turns out to be the bad guy, or a bad guy. Just, I don't know, lion supremacist? I can't even put that into words, but yeah. I think overall, it's not a bad anime. It's definitely not one of the better ones out there, if I'm being completely honest. I'm gonna put this as a solid B tier. There is better stuff out there, and this may get shifted down, but we'll determine that. There's a lot of anime to look at. Ooh, there's some things in here that may have some opinions. Okay, so, yeah, let's see. Should I zoom in? Or I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. Maybe just up a little bit. Like that. There we go. Okay, Attack on Titan. Ooh. I really liked Attack on Titan. I'm not gonna be the guy over here defending the last season, the last portion of it. Aaron's reasoning for doing what he did is inexcusable. There's no reason for this, honestly, at all. That said, I think the execution of the anime was extremely good. I think it tackled the concept that there is no pure good. Like, I think a lot of people have this misconception, right? Like, there's good guys and bad guys. We've got our heroes and villains. And especially anime tends to do that a lot, where it's really cut and dry. Like, oh, this is the bad guy. He's bad because he is bad. Like, there's no explanation for it. The concept of pure evil generally doesn't exist in reality. You know, no, I don't think any person is truly pure evil. Nor do I think any person is purely good. Don't meet your heroes, because at the end of the day, they're broken people just like the rest of us. People make mistakes, people make bad choices, people have bad taste, and that's just part of life, you know? So this anime tackles that a little bit, kind of with the concept, like, both sides were in the wrong. They both had valid reasons for feeling the way they did, but at the end of the day, racism is bad. I mean, the fact that it had to be said is pretty crazy, but that's sort of the show in a nutshell. As far as how it fits into, as far as how it fits in here, I don't think Attack on Titan, I don't think it's an S tier. I really don't. I think it is an extremely high A tier. Like, it's right on the cusp of being an S tier because of the social influence it had, but I think the show itself does not garner an S tier. Maybe I'll change my mind about that. That might be like the bottom of the S tier, but it's not S tier in my opinion at this moment. All right, next one. Data Live. I have not seen the show. I really don't care to see this show. This is one of those shows that I just never really thought much about. Don't know it. I'll right along with that. What is this? Oh, it's Tensuda. I don't know what this, oh, that's gotta be the manga. Okay, I was gonna say, I'm not familiar with this cover art. Okay, Tensuda's not bad. Otherwise known as Slime Isekai, for those who are not in the know. It's that time I was reincarnated, or that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Honestly, the first season is pretty good. Second season, really good. Third season, very good. Like, it just progressively got better, but it kind of, I don't know. Was it the third season? I think it was the third season that just came out, and I honestly did not follow it that well. I kind of dropped it. I just said, I don't know. There was better stuff out there. Got a little bored, and I was very busy at the time. It's not bad. I would say this is probably, I think for the quality of the show, oh, but that's hard because Shield Hero does have some good animation. Ooh. You know what? I'll put them right at the same level. I feel like these two are very similar shows in a lot of ways. All right, Mushoku Tensei. Without getting into the controversial side of things, I don't really care to watch this show. I've heard a lot of people say, I've heard mixed things, right, from both sides. On one side, I've heard, oh, the show's really good and it's worth a watch even if you're not a big anime fan, like, it's pretty good. And on the other side, there's some pretty horrific things going on in the show that I just don't really care to see. I'm I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care to see it. I know a lot of people might disagree with that. They might feel like, hey, that's unfair. I just don't really want to see it. Whoops. Sorry about that. I was trying to move the tab over to another my other monitor so I can monitor Twitter. I see 3 views. Are you guys viewing right now? If so, please drop a comment below. I'd love to see you guys interact. Get to say hi. So all right, let's see. Oh, Overlord. Oh man. Okay, I have very few bad things to say about this show. I don't know if that speaks to my personality or if Overlord is just honestly a good show. It's gritty. Not extraordinarily gritty, but there is a lot of death happening in the show. It's I think it's a gritty show that has playful scenes as opposed to a playful show that has gritty scenes. Because at the end of the day, there's like mass murder happening, innocent people being slaughtered. It's not a fun time on those regards. But I think it does a good job of portraying what undead would be like, where they're not per se strictly evil, but they just don't have, well, I mean, depending on how you define evil, if evil is the lack of empathy, then yes, they're extremely evil. But they care about each other. I guess it's about familial bonds to some extent. They just don't really care about the rest of the world. The whole point of their existence is to please Ainz Al Gaun, I believe. I always get his name mixed up. But that's literally like all of the NPCs, if you can call them that. Their job is to sort of please Ainz. So if he orders, hey, this village is in my way, I need you to bulldoze it, they're going to massacre everybody in that village with no mercy. And that's kind of the dark side of that. Obviously, it's not a good thing, but like, I don't know. The show itself is, I can't say it's S tier. I'm gonna put that at A tier. I honestly think Overlord is not as good as Attack on Titan, but it is very good. It's a good watch. It's enjoyable to watch for the most part, and there are some really funny moments that, honestly, you can get very involved in the characters. Fire Force. So I started the show without any knowledge as to what was happening. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, it is a prequel to Soul Eater, which I have not seen, and I think for that reason, I don't know. I did start the show. I think I watched about 4 episodes of the first season, and then I said, there is too much religion and lore in this for me. Like, it's not even like real life lore or something. It's building in a whole nother worldscape that I'm unfamiliar with. And the thing is, they didn't technically build any. They were just expecting you to know because it is related to a different show. And that other show built the lore. So I think for that reason, I personally dropped it. I have to put it in the drop category. I do apologize. Okay. Psycho-Pass. I have not seen the show. I've heard it's really good. I'm gonna put this in the would like to see category because I think it's something I would enjoy. You know what is not going in that category is Food Wars. Technically, I have seen scenes off of this. It was airing one night on Adult Swim, and I was just like, I'll check it out. You know, Toonami specifically, and I was like, I'll check it out. I'll take a peek. Immediately, like, anime girls moaning. I'm just like, okay, come on. What is this show? I don't know. It's very ecky. That's the whole thing. It's not really my taste. I don't enjoy that. If there is an ecky show that I do enjoy, it's going to be something that's very comedic that does not focus on the ecky side of things. Ooh, I don't even know if I can I mean, Konosuba to some extent, I guess, is. But again, that's not the point. Like, Kazuma, who is a massive pervert, is constantly being punished for his ways. And they joke about it because he's literally a parody of characters like Rudeus Grey Rat from Mushoku Tensei, or Kirito. I'll be honest, Kirito's not really a pervert. There were some scenes they put in there that was unnecessary, but his character does not portray that. He's a total airhead, and he's a good boy. But we'll talk about that. All right, so Goblin Slayer. Ooh. I don't know. I never really got into the concept of Goblin Slayer. I've heard people say it's good. There's a scene in there I really don't like. I'm very anti-SA, so when I heard that was in there, I was like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about that. Personally, I don't really care to watch it. You know, different strokes for different folks. That's just not mine. It's not my style. Classroom of the Elite. You know, I think I have to add a category in here because there may be some things I just don't know. Can I add a category? Add a row below. We're gonna put it in gray. Whoops. What was that before? All right, we'll make that red. And then this will be gray. And it's going to be, I don't know. Stuff that, like, honestly, I don't have enough information about. I think that's a good category. Okay, so Classroom of the Elite belongs squarely in I don't know. Because I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the show to say I would like to see it. I don't know enough to say I don't want to see it. And I haven't seen it, so I can't say it's dropped. So, there. Bofuri. I have heard of this one. What is this? I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. That's not the overly cautious hero, is it? I don't think it is. I'm gonna put that squarely in the I don't know, because I have heard of it, but I'm not sure if it's the show I'm thinking it is. It might be worth a watch. I'm gonna be honest, anything in this category here could be worth a watch. I really don't know, because I have not seen all of these. Arifureta, it's another one that I'm really not sure. Okay, Seven Deadly Sins. I have heard a lot about this show. I've heard a lot of good things about the people who really like the show. I've heard a lot of bad things about people who are criticizing the animation, and maybe rightly so. Hold on one second, I just realized I have to expand this. Man, I would love to have a moderator. If someone would like to have a moderator, or would like to be a moderator, you let me know and we can make it happen. Let's see. We're gonna do tier maker. There we go. Is that a category? No, it's not. Okay, I didn't think so. Okay. Sorry about that. But yeah, so I've heard the term 7 Deadly Frames, which I find very funny, personally. I do think I would like to see it, if I'm being honest. I think this is something that would be worth a watch. It's one of those that's always been there. I didn't really care to see it before. I kind of want to see it now just because even as bad as I've heard the animation has gotten, it still looks like a fun show. By the way, if I sound a little under the weather, it's because I kind of am. I don't feel super great. I'm wondering if I'm fighting a cold or something, so please bear with me if I'm sniffling over here or if I sound a little nasally. That's why. Okay, the case study of Vanitas. This is one, again, I have heard of, but I don't know enough information on it. It's going squarely here. Undefeated Bahamut Chronicle? I've never heard of this show. 100% out of category, but never heard of it. Nah, it'll stay in I don't know. Vinland Saga! Oh my gosh. Okay, Vinland Saga is honestly one of my all-time favorite shows. I think it's very easily one of the best animated. It has an awesome soundtrack. I love all of its openings. It's a very different premise from a lot of anime because it's a historical drama set completely on the other side of the world. You know, this is mostly happening in England and Denmark, a little bit in Wales, and then of course there's references to Vinland, which is, you know, Newfoundland in Canada. So like there's and Iceland. I don't know if we actually go to Greenland. I don't think we do, but Iceland for sure. There's actual characters in here that were real people. Thorvin was a real person. Thorkel was a real person. Thor's, I think, he's based on a few different people. Obviously Canute and King, oh gosh, what's his name? Is it Erwin or something like that? I forget his name, but or Saywin, that's it. King Saywin was a real person. Leif Erikson was a real person. If you've ever watched SpongeBob in the golden era, you probably remember Happy Leif Erikson Day, Hinga Dinga Durgan. But yeah, so these were real people. Obviously this stuff didn't really happen, but it was set during events that actually happened, like the raids and fight in the Danelaw collapsing, you know, the transition from one king to another with different practices and styles. Like this is all legitimate, and it's exploring a young boy having to go through this horrible situation in his childhood, being exposed to stuff that no child should ever have to suffer through, and yet having to come to terms with it. And by the second season, he's just broken, and understandably why. Like, I mean, if PTSD was a person, it would be Thorvin. With that said, this has to go in S tier. It is I think it's honestly one of the best animes to have come out of the last decade, hands down, no question. Now, if you don't like senseless killing, if you don't like some sad sequences, you don't like complex characters, and you don't like gore, you're not gonna like Vinland Saga. You know, if you're just about, like, if you're a My Hero fan, not saying anything bad about My Hero, I watch My Hero too, but if you're a My Hero fan, right, and you're used to seeing the hero get up and walk away at the end of the fight, and then, you know, oh, everybody's fine, like, no one's actually... Okay, a couple people have died in My Hero at this point, like 5 or 6, and I guess thousands of civilians? a lot of people have died, but like early My Hero, no one ever died. It was very much like old school Batman. Like, Batman doesn't kill people, right? Yeah, he just beats them up and then leaves them for the police. This is not like that. A lot of people in Vinland Saga die. A lot of people who did not deserve to die. A lot of people who are just living their average lives are getting swept into it. So it's heavy for sure, but gosh, is it a good show. Okay, Dr. Stone. I personally really like Dr. Stone. It is goofy. It's silly. A lot of the science in there is not legit. Probably wasn't or wouldn't have been legit. The more you dive into it, you realize that there's some insane things happening. Oh, there was something that happened. Oh, no, the thing that kills me, and I absolutely find this hysterical. I watched this with my sister, right? She loves this show as well. And at one point, I was trying to get her into the show. I'm showing it to her, and basically made the joke that for some reason, you know, they all get turned to stone, right? They all get turned to stone, and they're just everyday average people. But instead of waking people up that have, I don't know, a degree in accounting or something, you know, Japanese salarymen, they wake up the most superhuman people imaginable. The first person besides Taiju that gets woken up is Skusa. So it's Senku wakes up, then Taiju, then Skusa. Skusa is basically... first time, my buddy actually called him a JoJo character, which is pretty accurate, actually. I think he's only 15 or 16. He might be 17. Whatever the case is, he's a high schooler. And they call him the world's strongest primate high schooler or something like that. I guess he's a boxer, like martial artist boxer type thing. Very strong guy. Wakes up and punches a lion and kills it. And the more people that they keep unlocking, there's like a guy with super hearing, there's a guy who has he's like a master magician, there's another, like they just keep waking these people up that have these incredible powers. So I joked, it's like, what are they, they're just roaming around and they'd just be like, Spider-Man, what are you doing in Japan? Like, you know, of course, it's ridiculous, like the fact they keep waking these people up. But there was a scene that happened in not the most recent episode as this airs, but the episode before that, where a character literally pushes over a full-grown sequoia tree, or at least the equivalent. The thing was massive. We're talking probably a solid 12 feet in diameter, just pushes it over like it was nothing. In the ground. It's not even like it was, you know, dying or something or about to fall over. No, full-grown, healthy tree just pushed over by one person. And I said, that is the most unrealistic thing that's happened to this. Like, that's where they lost me. It's so funny. It's a good show, though. Like, a lot of the science is real. I think, what is it, Mecha Senku? When Mecha Senku comes out and teaches about different things, I think that's kind of neat. It gets people interested in science, and I'd love to see that you actually get some engineers and different science majors to come out of it because they watched Dr. Stone and said, you know what, I really like that. I want to do some of that myself. So I am going to put Dr. Stone as a solid A tier over Overlord. I think this is a more fun watch than Overlord. Enjoyable show for sure. All right, My Hero. I have mixed feelings. I like My Hero. I liked early My Hero. I still like My Hero, but you know what gets me? I'm personally of the mindset that I don't enjoy watching a fight take place for 12 episodes. Even if it's a series of fights, I don't like watching just fight. I'm not the kind of person, like I didn't grow up on Dragon Ball or Naruto or One Piece where there's just constant action. I like a little bit of discourse, a little bit of development in the character and the story. And My Hero can do that. It has done that in the past. But using flashbacks and fights to fill episodes where the source material may not have done that, or even if the source material did, my biggest complaint with My Hero is that it tends to do a little bit too much of that. I feel like I'm not even watching a Marvel movie, but a parody of a Marvel movie that just has extended fight scenes sometimes. The Deus Ex Machina components of it isn't that bad that you see in some other shows, like the next one we're about to talk about, but I'll be honest, I feel like I'm a little bored of My Hero. And I don't know if that's me growing up. Because like I started that show back in 2016, I think. 2017 maybe, so it's been going for a solid 8 years since then. I'm just a little weary of it because I feel like we wait, you know, a year and a half, and then it's just fight, and there's no progression. I like to see a little bit of progression. Also, I heard about how it ends. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm a little bit upset about that. I hope that the actual ending to the show is going to be a little bit more dramatic. I don't know if dramatic's the word. More fulfilling, I guess, than the actual end to the manga. Because you can do that, especially if the manga received criticism and people are saying like, oh, you know, it needed to have a little bit more of this or that. I feel like you could make those changes, but we'll see. I don't know if they're going to deviate. Honestly, I think My Hero is C tier. It's not the worst. It's a solid, like, hey, if you are not a big anime fan, but you like superheroes, you might enjoy this. Because there aren't that many, like, I personally don't remember any Ekimo. Okay, I guess there were a couple of them, but teenagers, you know, it's a shonen. You get what you get with that. It's not as bad as other shows. Just understand what you're getting yourself into when you're watching a show like this. Okay, One Punch. I'm gonna be honest, the first season, amazing, loved it. I thought it was hilarious. Second season lost me. I have not seen the third. I wouldn't call that dropped. I think more just put on hold for now. Based on what I've seen, I would put it at the top of B tier. it might be a low A tier. We'll reassess at the end of this, but it's a good show. The joke is that Saitama is the unstoppable force meeting an immovable object, but he doesn't care. He's gonna punch through it. He is so incredibly strong from whatever. Like, I don't think it's ever explained why he is so strong, because his workout regimen is not, it's not intense. It's mildly intense for someone who's, I don't know, doing CrossFit or something. Like, it's not particularly difficult. I think it was 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and then a 10-mile run every day. That's it. That is his regimen, and we don't know how, but he lost his hair. So, like, I don't know if maybe he ate something and he's just really dumb, and that gave him some superpower. Like, if you've seen One Piece and you want to spoil it for me, drop it in the comments and let me know why he is so strong if they've revealed that. I have a feeling they wouldn't and won't, because the joke is that he just is that strong. There is no need to question it. And that's okay, you know? Like, if that is the point of the character, is the joke character comes in, hits it with one punch, and then it's just dead. Like, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just don't try to be something you're not. I think that's the moral of today, right? Like, don't try to be something you're not. Just try to be you. You know, whatever flavor you have developed for yourself, if people like that, don't try to change the formula. I've seen some of these other shows try to switch. To some extent, even like Shield Hero, I feel like has changed a little bit. It was very gritty in the first season, and it's gone a little bit silly. That's part of the reason it's not higher on the list. I feel like it lost a bit of itself in it, but hey, maybe that's what the source material does too. I don't know if it came from a manga. It's probably a light novel. But that said, you know, I feel like it could have done something a little bit differently. Maybe that's just me. Okay, Akame ga Kill. I have not seen it. From what I've seen, I kind of would like to see it. It looks like an interesting anime. I've heard a lot of people that really enjoy the show, but I haven't seen it yet. Can't say much about it. Sword Art Online. This show is technically the anime that got me into the mainstream anime circle, because my very first anime was not any of the ones that you would think it would be. Well, maybe it is. My first anime was Attack on Titan, technically. I saw the first season on Netflix. I gave it a try because I heard my sister was watching it, and I was like, I'll give it a try. A lot of people are talking about it. Worst case scenario, I don't like it. I don't have to watch it more. My second anime was Death Note, which I absolutely loved. And then the third one I watched was Sword Art Online. I went over to my friend's house. We watched it together. I had a great time personally. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was interesting. The concept I was just obsessed with for a long time. I even contemplated the idea of, like, hey, could we make a Sword Art, like, RPG? Not the Sword Art games. I'm going to specify. Sword Art games, you know what? You might be into that. I personally think they're terrible. I really think they're awful. I've played the Sword Art games. I do not like them. I think they're extremely boring and fall flat of anything even coming close to the show. I think the only reason you would play those games is because you really, really like the one-dimensional characters that they have in the show, and you want to spend time with them and see Asuna in a bikini or something. Like, that's basically it. Those games are gutter trash, in my opinion. The show itself, very good. I honestly think the romance between Kirito and Asuna it's very cute. Even my mom, who saw this, says that she agrees with this, you know, like, she thought Sword Art's romance was very cute. She personally really likes Asuna. I really do too. I wish that they explored a little bit more of the depth of their relationship, because, and maybe this is just, you know, different cultures experiencing relationships differently. I feel like Asuna is kind of underdeveloped. And I know she got her own movie. I still haven't seen that. I need to watch that. But in the show, at least, I feel like she's a little underdeveloped and kind of exists solely to complement Kirito, who is in himself sort of a blank slate. I know why they did that. The whole concept of Kirito being a blank slate is so people can project on him. You know, it's the psychology for that. But that aside, I thought it was cute. I enjoy the show. I don't really understand the whole concept of, you know, when people go to these great lengths to have all sorts of fan service. Oh, excuse me. I didn't really understand the fan service in this. There wasn't a lot of it, but where it was, it felt a little weird, especially with some of the characters who are not just a little, but very underage. That was extremely uncomfortable. I'm looking at you, what is it, Silica? Silica? I think that's her name, Silica. She's like 13. There does not need to be anything ecky about that. It's just weird and creepy. Especially considering I know what the creator of this, specifically the light novel, did with Kirito and Asuna as a fan service thing. If you know, you know. That said, I think the show is actually better than people give it credit for. I think it's a low A tier. I thought the first half was, I don't know if I can call that peak. It was very good. It was very good. I think the second half of the first season was kind of meh. The second season was just, like, I was unimpressed. The whole Kirito was a girl, and then Death Gun. Your character's name is Death Gun? Come on. I couldn't take that seriously. The first time I heard it, I laughed out loud. I was like, you can't be serious. And then Alicization. Alicization was absolutely peak. I've heard that they're supposed to be coming out with another season of Alicization. I cannot wait for that. I am so hyped for that when that finally drops. Alice's best girl, don't at me. Yu-Gi-Oh is a good boy who I don't want to spoil anything. Yu-Gi-Oh's a good boy. He doesn't deserve it. But yeah, I think this is a solid A tier. No question. Fate Stay Night. I have not seen it. I've heard about what the Fate franchise is about. I still don't understand it. I'm gonna be honest, this is not one that I personally see myself ever watching. I don't really care to see it. That's not saying it's a bad show. A D tier would be a bad show. Actually, dropped would be a bad show. If I've seen it and I dropped it, you know what? Dropped /F. Excuse me. I think that's fair, because if I've dropped it, that means that I had absolutely no reason to watch this show. Like, I found nothing interesting about it. If it's F tier, it also goes here. Even if I finished the show and I absolutely did not like it, that would be F tier. I think I should actually move these up. Whoa. Like that. There we go. Because these categories are not necessarily bad. This is actually a good category. Okay. Owari no Serif. I'm gonna be honest, I've heard the music in this and it absolutely goes so hard. I don't know anything else about it. I think it's about vampires. I could be wrong, but I would like to see it. I've heard it's good. Gurren Lagann. I have heard people refer to this. I have not seen it, but I've heard people refer to this as the better Evangelion, which, I mean, that's some pretty high praise, considering Evangelion is sort of, I don't know if you can call it the magnum opus of mech anime. I think it just, maybe it garnered that attention because the song was good, and it was so avant-garde and out there that people just couldn't help but watch it. I don't even know, because I have not seen Evangelion. I know that it's got a reverence to it, though. People revere that anime like it's holy. Like, you cannot say anything bad about Evangelion. So with that high praise, I'm gonna say Gurren Lagann. I'm personally not really into mech. That's a good question. It's either here or it's here, because I don't know if I actually want to watch it. I'm gonna say I don't know, because I don't know enough about it. honestly, to make that decision. Steins Gate. I have not seen it. I would like to see it. I've heard it's one of the few that handles time travel really well. I don't know about time travel in anime much. There's a couple of them that do it, you know, relatively well. What was the one we were referring to? I can't even remember. I was talking with a friend the other day, and there was something about something referring to time travel, and I can't even remember, but that's okay. Code Geass. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care to see it. I'm not into mech. I heard some of the weird stuff about this show. I don't know. Yeah, like, I'm not into mecha stuff. I'm not into Gundam. It's okay. Like, I don't know. Just doesn't get me going. Death March. What does that say? Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of that, if I'm being honest. Let me know what it's about in the comments. Fairy Tail. I technically have seen, like, one episode of this. It's extremely long. It's part of the reason I have not continued watching it, because it was older. It was already over by the time that I started really, like, diving into anime. This was just a few years ago. Like, I've been watching for maybe 10 years. Let's see, when did Fairy Tail end? Fairy Tail ended... Oh, 2019. Wow, that's much more recent than I thought. Huh. Well, anyway, yeah, so I would say, maybe someday I'll watch it, but I'm gonna put it in the I don't know category, because I'm not sure if I want to see it. I do know that it's a very well-beloved anime, but I don't know much about it beyond that. How not to summon a demon lord. Once again, I don't know enough about it to really say one thing or another about it. Ray Zero. I don't know if I should even say this because I might dox myself. I went forward and basically said that season 3, and this was back in, well, it was last December, I guess. There was a panel that I went on at a convention right at the ending of season 3, part 1 for Ray Zero. And I basically went up there as a hot take and said Ray Zero is very mid. At least season 3, part 1 was very mid. I still stand by that. There was a lot of talking. I know it's a politics anime. I know. But when you spend 2 or 3 full episodes talking about the same subject, when there could be progression of any other kind, and I can literally tune it out and not have really missed anything, I don't know. That is the one thing that keeps Ray Zero from being an S tier, in my opinion. Like, sometimes the episode management is mishandled. Also, not enough Rem. Bring back Rem. She's best girl. I'm gonna say it's an A tier. I think it actually goes above Sword Art, but below Overlord. Nope. There we go. I would watch it in this order, personally. Like, if I was watching them for the first time or recommending them to a friend, this would be the order. No, actually, I would recommend Sword Art before Overlord, but I guess this is the order we'd watch them. If they said they want to see all of these, I'd be like, this is the order you need to watch them in. Best to worst of these. Of course, start with Vinland Saga. Okay, wow, we got a lot left. You know what? We got time. I've only been streaming for 46 minutes, so we'll keep it going until either my voice gives out or until we run out. So, we'll see. Let me get a sip of water first. I love the funny faces my avatar makes when it can't see my mouth. Okay. Raka. I'm not sure. There's gonna be a lot in this category, by the way. Just putting that out there. Guilty Crown. I really don't... Oh, this one's another mech, right? Yeah. If this one is a mech, I think it's another mech. I'm really just not about mech stuff. That's just not my style. I think Gundam is cool. I think it's interesting. I just don't really care enough about it to ever want to watch one. I've seen Voltron, the Netflix one specifically, not the old one. Seen Voltron, didn't really do it for me. It was interesting enough, I guess, but it's just okay. Recreators. I have heard about this, but I don't know anything about it, so it's going there. Same with Chivalry of a Failed Knight. I have heard about Darwin's Game. Or no, am I thinking Tamagotchi Game? I think I'm thinking Tamagotchi Game. I don't know about Darwin's Game. Black Clover. I've heard the premise to this, right? I've read it on my anime list. I've read it in a few different locations. I've read it on Reddit. I know enough about what it's about to know that I'm not interested in seeing this. It honestly just feels like a very generic shonen. You know, if you like it, it's fine. I'm not going to say you have bad taste by saying that you like Black Clover, and I hope you don't say I have bad taste for the next one. I personally really like Demon Slayer. I think the animation is incredible. I think the soundtracks are phenomenal. I think the story falls a little flat in some places, and honestly, I think the way they're ending it feels a little rushed. There was less build-up than I was hoping for. That said, they're releasing movies. They're basically doing what Attack on Titan did, right? Like, instead of going to the lengths of developing a nice long season that have long episodes, they're releasing like one film at a time, and it's one film per year for the next 3 years. It ends, from my understanding, this is what my sister told me, in 2026. Wait, 2026? Wait, was it 2029? Hold on. I gotta verify this. Last Demon Slayer movie release date. Okay, let's see. The Infinity Castle. Oh, it looks like the first... oh, that's right. They released it in Japan. Haven't seen it yet. I don't live in Japan, so can't wait to see that. Let me rephrase that. When does the last Infinity Castle movie come out? Alright, I'm not finding enough information on this. I thought I heard it was like 2027 or 2028 or something. It's basically, they're going to keep releasing these. Hey, what's going on, IF Fan Williams? Good to see ya. But yeah, so I don't know all the details. I only know what I've been told. That is definitely, I feel like, stretching it. And they're doing that to try to keep the franchise alive. I understand why. I don't agree with it. I think it's kind of scummy. I personally do, however, really love Demon Slayer. I think it's a solid A tier. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put it here just because Attack on Titan. You know what? We gotta revere it. Attack on Titan's an S tier anime. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's S tier. Because if Demon Slayer is the top of the A tier, then Attack on Titan is going to be bottom of the S. I think that's fair. All right. No Game No Life. I have not seen it. I kind of would like to see it though. I've heard it's good. I've heard a lot of people complain that it doesn't have a second season. That might change, but not today. Gate. Ooh, I have heard a little bit about this, but I don't know enough to make a decision on that. Same with Drifters. Yeah. Here we go, Konosuba. Of all the isekai, this one is the most isekai, and it's also very funny. It is a comedy at its core, whereas a lot of isekai like Re:Zero, technically Sword Art, I guess to some extent it is an isekai, but it also isn't, because he gets stuck in the game, but then he gets out, and then he goes back in, and then he's not stuck, and then he goes back in, and then he gets stuck again. I don't know. He's got Stockholm syndrome with VR, I guess. But yeah, Sword Art is probably not, but these two definitely are, and these two definitely are isekai. They are the fantasy, we're going in and doing the fantasy thing stuff. Like that's what that's all about. Whereas Konosuba is more, they go there together, but instead of this deity which just puts them there, like Tanya the Evil, for example, like, what is it, Being X puts Tanya there. Aqua gets trapped with Cosma because she's kind of an idiot, and Cosma found a loophole to say that he can bring anything that he wants, so he says, I want to bring you. So she gets stuck. She loses a lot of her powers, but she's still pretty powerful. Then there's the explosion mage, Megamine, and then the useless masochistic knight, or paladin, I guess, which is darkness. And their duo, their combination of people is so funny to me. It's just honestly so funny. This is easily A tier. Probably like that, yeah. Okay. What is this? My New Life as a Villainess? I don't know it. Log Horizon. Again, I don't know enough information about it to give you a yes or no. Let's see. The World's Finest Assassin. Same deal. Wow, I really don't know most of these. Grimgar, Fantasy and Ash. I have heard of that one, don't know much about it. Never heard of this one. What does this say? Something about the realist hero? I don't know enough about it, sorry. Okay, this is the cautious hero. I've heard about it. It sounds funny. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna go in here. I just don't know enough about it, to be honest. Wise Man's Grandchild, don't know it. The Faraway Paladin, don't know it. What does this say? Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Sounds like a comedy, but I don't know it. I can't even read that. Oh, is this, Isekai in another world with my smartphone? If it is, that, ugh. Hold on, my avatar looks very glum for some reason. There we go. I have to reset it on occasion. I don't know why it does. It drifts into a frown. I'm not even frowning. Maybe it's because I'm not frowning enough. I don't know. Let's see. The Eighth Sun? Don't know it. The Fruit Evolution. Don't know it. Isekai Cheat Magician. I have heard of it, but I don't know enough about it. Devil's a Part-Timer. I've seen a little bit about this. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really want to see it. Like, it's just not that interesting to me. I know it's a comedy. I think I've seen part of an episode, so I guess in a way it was dropped, but it's not so much that I don't think it's a bad anime. I just didn't want to watch it, truly. I was like, I'll give it a try. Couldn't even get through a full episode. You know what? Technically that is dropped. I don't know this one. Excel World, don't know it. High School DxD, can put it in the don't care to see because I'm not a fan of Eki. Hack Sign, don't know it. Plunder, don't know it. Is it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon? I've actually heard people say, as much as this sounds really Eki, it's not. I don't know if I believe them. I'm gonna put it in the I don't know category just because I can't make a decision based off of that. Our Last Crusade, Our Last Crusade or the Rise of a New World. I don't know exactly what that means. I don't know the context. I don't know what it is. Absolute, don't know what it is. Infinite Stratos, don't know what it is. Don't know that one. Man, this category is going to be full at the end of this. Don't know that one. World Trigger. I have heard of that, but don't know enough about it. Don't know this one. Don't know it. Wandering Witch. Don't know it. Goodness. Who made this tier list? There's a bunch of stuff I've never heard of in here. Okay, I have heard about that one. I don't know enough about it, though, to make a decision. Don't know that one. Don't know that one. Don't know that one. Don't know that one. Goodness, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, Ruby. Is Ruby truly anime? It's 3D CG, made somewhat in anime stylization by a Westerner with no Japanese influence. It's hard to even call it anime. I will give it the benefit, and even so, I don't really want to see it. Just not my style, I guess. Don't know that one. What is this? I can't even read that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put that there. Quintessential Quintuplets. I don't really care to see it, if I'm being honest. Kill la Kill. Ooh, that's a kind of a cult classic. Very ecky. Even so, don't really care to see it. 86. Okay, 86 is kind of interesting to me. I would like to see that one. I'm not sure all the details behind it, but I think it's worth maybe at least taking a peek. It's just about timing, you know? Vivi, I don't know it. Almost thought that was your name for a second. I don't know this one. Full Dive? I'm not sure about that one. JJK. Okay, now we're getting into more familiar properties. Oh yeah, I think I know almost all of these now from here. Okay, they just put a bunch of stuff in the middle I've never even heard of. Okay, JJK. This is going to be a controversial opinion. Or maybe not, depending on what social circle you're in. JJK is not a bad anime. However, asterisk, I think they focus too much on the fighting. Again, I think there was not enough plot development in the second season. I'm a bit sad about that. I am looking forward to the third season. I think in the second season, they killed a lot of characters seemingly unnecessarily. I mean, I get it that it was supposed to, like, the first season was all about setting things up, and it was very fun and playful, and I liked that. I thought it was, like, the stakes were moderately high, but it wasn't, like, end of the world situation. Second season, Sakuna comes in and basically just says, hey, guess what? I have full reign now because these guys decided to try to open this, or, well, no, it wasn't even Sakuna technically. Like, he was part of it. He was a big part of it. But it was Mahito who decided to make an absolute mess of everything in Shibuya, right? Yeah, the Shibuya incident. The fighting was crazy. The animation was crazy. Those poor animators' hands. Listen, if you work for MAPPA, I'm talking to you right now. If you work for MAPPA, thank you for the service you put into this. However, please consider taking care of yourself. Genuinely, like, please take care of yourself. I don't know how much they're paying you guys. I hope it's enough. I hope it's a lot. You deserve it, because I see the kind of quality that comes out of that. It's insane. I have a lot of respect for you guys, honestly. If you are the management at MAPPA, please stop taking on every single anime. There are other studios that can pick stuff up. Trigger's available. Ufotable is available. KyoAni. We love KyoAni. I don't know the process about getting into KyoAni though. I personally love KyoAni. I loved Chunibyo and Other Delusions, which I don't even see on this list. I thought that was a great anime. Dragon Maid was fun. like just a variety of things that have come out of it. K-On! For crying out loud. Like, okay, I'm not the biggest K-On! Fan. I prefer Bochi, but you know. That said, like, the shows are just good. Hibiki Euphonium, I believe, is KyoAni. There's a lot of good stuff that can come out of these studios. It doesn't all have to be Mappa. And that's part of the problem, is some of the greatest stuff that's coming out, the good source material is not getting animated because it's having to fight with other studios. And it just seems silly to me, right? Like, some of the greatest stuff that could be produced ends up getting kicked to the side or outright canceled because Mappa doesn't want to work on it. And it's like, that's so unfair. My sister's still up in arms about the fact that Yuri on Ice was canceled. I guess there was a movie that was going to be coming out because Mappa didn't have time to work on it. That sounds like a Mappa issue, not a funding problem, but Mappa specifically, which is just absurd. Rant over. Personally, I really like JJK. I don't think it's an A tier. I think it belongs at the very top of B tier, specifically for the fact that it hasn't had enough development yet. Once we get that season 3, which is coming, I know it's coming, it'll likely shift to an A tier. But the way they left season 2 was just so sour. I like, the taste in my mouth after that just felt bad. And that personally bumped it down. Otherwise, I would have agreed. Like either a high A tier or maybe even S tier, but definitely not right now. That can change. Remember, all of these are subject to change. Unless the anime is over, or... Yeah, I mean, I guess unless it's over, like, the chances of it moving... I think I saw a... Yeah, there's an anime in here that unfortunately gets a lower rating than it probably should, based on the source material, but this isn't about the source material, this is about the anime. Mob Psycho. I have not seen it. I'm gonna be honest, the art style is kind of ugly, but I think I would like to see it at some point. I gotta try it again. But you know what I'm not trying, which is also has an ugly art style and is far too long? That's right, I said it. Too much filler. Art style's inconsistent and ugly. It's been going for, what, 26 years? Please end the show. Please end it. I heard that there is talks right now about... Is it about Mappa giving it a rewrite? I'm gonna look into that. One Piece remake. Wit Studio. Wit is an amazing studio. I'd love to see that. When that happens, I will watch One Piece. Not until then. It's too long. I do not have enough time in the day to watch all of the episodes. And I'm not going to sacrifice my time with my friends and family to watch a show that, honestly, I just don't care that much about. It sounds like it's an interesting premise. But you know what? I'm not watching 1,200 episodes simply to understand what people are talking about right now. Let's see, I think I looked it up that you'd have to spend roughly a month if you spent all day long watching it. Let me calculate. So let's see, if there's, let's say, 1,250 episodes, which I think is a pretty fair number, at 25 minutes a piece, so times 25 minutes, that's 31,250, divided by 60, it's 520 hours, divided by, let's say, 8. So if you spent 8 hours a day watching One Piece, it would take you it would take you over 2 months. That includes weekends. That does not give you a break for anything. It would take you 2 months, all day long, every day, to watch all of One Piece from start to finish. That is an insane number to me. I am not interested, sorry. Fullmetal Alchemist. Everybody keeps telling me it's so good. The original, no. But for Brotherhood, I will say, would like to see. Cowboy Bebop. I haven't technically dropped this one. I actually adore Cowboy Bebop. But again, time, I can't say that it's an S tier. I think it's a solid, I think it's a mid A tier. I think it's really good. The music is phenomenal. The animation's really good. It's got character and soul to it because it was before everything was computer graphics. Like, a lot of that was hand-drawn, if not all of it. I don't remember, but, you know, 1999, like, things were different in that time. I love the aesthetic so much that I've actually, like, I've designed campaigns and things roughly around Cowboy Bebop, because I think it's just a very fascinating concept. There's Evangelion. I would like to see it at some point. I think simply for the fact that I've never seen it, and it's sort of a, like, as an anime fan, you kind of have to see it to understand, you know, how people compare it. But I think that's only fair. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't grow up with it. I don't think it's that interesting. I don't really care. Death Note. Death Note is awesome. No question about this. Death Note is an S tier anime. I think the second portion, after a certain character with a single letter is no longer in the show, that another character comes in, I think that's not as good, but it's still good. Hunter x Hunter. Another long show that I just didn't grow up with. I don't really care to see it. Sorry. Disagree with me. Say something in the comments. Tell me that. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is decently good. Is it as good as other shows? No. No, it's not. I think the first 3, call it 4 parts, were really good. After the... once it drifted away from the Joestar trilogy, or whatever you want to call it, the anthology, it kind of lost me. I think it's a solid mid-B tier. It's not bad, but it's not amazing. I know there are people that absolutely love JoJo, that they think it's their best show ever, and power to you. I heard they basically retconned it with this last season that I did not see. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Berserk. I would like to see Berserk at some point. I've heard it's pretty brutal. I don't know this show. Darling in the Franxx. You know why. Whoop, too far. Here's another Fate. Don't really care to see it. Dragon Ball Z. Are we lumping all the Dragon Balls? I think it's fair. Lump all the Dragon Balls. No. Just no. Assassination Classroom. Alright, technically I did drop it. I don't think it's bad. I'm gonna put it in I would like to see, because I want to see more of it. I just haven't had the time. Okay, let's go back and talk Dragon Ball. Let me tell you why, because I think it's only fair, right? This is one of those shows that is the antithesis of the things I like. The fights are too long. The character development is too little. I think it ignores critical plot points, such as the whole concept of, like, Goku just sort of leaves his family to go fight. Definitely Dad of the Year award. The whole I think Dragon Ball's cool, right? I think it's neat. The concept of it is kind of interesting. Even so, it's very long, drawn out. It's got a lot of memes coming from it, specifically because of how over the top it is. Do I hate Dragon Ball? No. Reminder, just because it's in the don't care to see doesn't mean that it's a bad show. It just means that I personally don't want to see it. And that's okay. We can have different interests and different likes. You can love Dragon Ball. You can love Fate. You can love Mushoku Tensei. Of course, I don't want to touch you if you're a Mushoku Tensei fan. Honestly, these are not necessarily bad shows. I I've heard Black Clover's really good. I've heard Code Geass is god tier. I haven't seen it. I don't really want to see it. That's okay. We can have those different thoughts and opinions. Moving on, Erased. I don't know enough about it to know if I want to see it or not. Tokyo Ghoul, though, I would like to see that. I've heard it's really good. I have not seen it, but I would like to. Parasite. I dropped it. I saw about 5 or 6 episodes and I got kind of bored, not gonna lie. I'm sure it's great. I just don't care. Blue Exorcist. By the way, if I'm speedrunning now, it's because I am actually, like, I'm getting tired of talking. Oh, I see there's another viewer in the chat. Let's see who we got. Unless it's just a glitch. Might just be a glitch. No, it shows too. If you're there, say hi. I would love to chat with you. I'm getting tired of talking into the void, so if you have something to say, definitely let me know. Blue Exorcist. I've heard it's good. I don't really have a lot of opinion on it because obviously there's not a lot to say if I haven't seen it. So I'm gonna put it there. I don't know this. Pokemon. You guys are gonna hate me for this one. It's too long. There's too much of it. I like Pokemon. I've seen some Pokemon as a kid. I wasn't supposed to because my parents were freaked out about it causing seizures. You remember that whole thing? If you didn't know, there was an issue at some point where there was an episode of Pokemon where there was, I think, red and green flashing briefly. It came out of nowhere, there was no seizure warning, and it played on every television that was, you know, broadcasting this back in the day, live, back in the 90s. And it caused a bunch of kids to have seizures. Because it's an epileptic event. That they didn't warn about that. And of course, this was back in the day before, you know, epilepsy was, like, super well understood. So, you know, in that time, they probably were like, oh, well, it must just be the show. The show is bad. There's a connection there. The show causes people to have epilepsy. There. It's a fallacy. It was the flashing, and I think since then, that episode has been pulled from air. You can still find it online, but I don't think they air it anymore. There's like a modified version of it. All right, I need a sip of water before I get into this one. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get nice and close to the microphone for this one, because you need to understand how upset I am about the Promised Neverland. Promised Neverland was likely one of the best shows to have been stolen from us. The first season was incredible. It was immaculate. I had an amazing time watching it, and I was so excited for season 2. I got my sister on board. She didn't even want to watch this at first. I got her into it, like 4 or 5 episodes. And then she was, not even that. I think we watched like 2 episodes and she was hooked instantly. We watched through the whole first season, and then we watched the second season when it came out. And had it not been for the fact that one of our close friends reached out to us and basically said, hey, they're deviating from the source material. And we went, no, that's okay. They can do that a little bit. You don't understand how far they went. They butchered the entire second season. And you can absolutely 100% tell it was because either they were about to lose the rights to the property or funding ran out, because they only squeezed out 11 episodes to finish what should have been 2, maybe 3 seasons of content. And they did the absolute most unjust. There was no justice done to this at all. I actually really feel bad for the show. The creators of the show, like the people who actually wrote and directed, or not the directors, the people who wrote this stuff, like the original author, the animators, the voice actors, all of it. I feel so bad for them. because they were screwed out of possibly one of the best anime to come out and made it one of the most hated anime to have ever been released. I personally would like to receive an apology from the people who made this Drek. The second season specifically, the ones who screwed everybody. I would like to see them not only apologize, I'd like to see them remake it. Withdraw the season and remake it. If they did that, it would be the biggest comeback of all time for anime. No question. Because what it should have been would have been incredible. We're not there. For that reason, it is so close to receiving an F tier. The first season is the only reason it's not. That's all. Bleach. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really want to see it. I don't really care to see it. It's another really long, it's one of the big three. I think the big three are overhyped. I've seen some from the big three of all of these. Like, I've seen a portion of One Piece, like, I think a couple episodes. I've seen some Hunter x Hunter. I know that's not one of the big three. I've seen, well, let's see. What are the big three? It's One Piece, Naruto, Bleach, right? Yeah, I've seen some Naruto. I've seen maybe an episode of Bleach. I don't remember. It's been a long time. They did not interest me. And it's part of the reason I think I never got into anime as a kid, because the big three never interested me. Pokemon was kind of cool, but I didn't even really process that it was anime, if I'm being honest. Anyway, Hyoka. I don't know enough about it to make a decision on that. I've heard some people like it. I don't really know enough. Gintama. This is one I absolutely would love to see at some point. I have not seen it. I do think it needs to be seen. It looks hysterical to me. The fact that Gintoki is so self-aware, it reminds me of Psyche, which is here. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Violet Evergarden. I would like to see that. I think that's KyoAni, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard it's very sad. I've heard it's very well made. I would like to see it. It's just about finding the time to actually sit down and watch it. Haikyuu. Meh. Sports anime don't really interest me. Ranking of Kings. I have heard mixed things on this, but even so, I would like to see it. Your Lie in April. I've seen a portion of this. I don't like being sad. I don't want to be sad because this will make me cry. I know it will. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be happy. I want to watch cute romances. It's a shame Dandadan's not in here because I love the cute romance in that show, honestly. It's not even about, like, the action. The action is cool. It's the cute romance. That's what I'm about. That's part of the reason I think I love Chunibyo so much. Okay, Psyche K. Psyche K is hysterical. Is it the best anime ever made? No, but it's really fun. I'm capping out B tier with Psyche K. I think it's very good. They even made a reference, like, Gintoki actually appeared in an episode of Psyche K. Also, they made references to... oh, there were a couple other people. I forget exactly who. But it was another anime, like other anime that wasn't just Gintama, and they weren't made by the same studio. I think one of them was like, I don't know, one of them was from an isekai. I think one of them might have been Kirito or something like that. Very funny, very funny. Hellsing, I have not seen it. I don't really care to see it personally. It's a little dark for my taste. Claymore. I really don't know enough about it to make a decision on that. What is this? I can't tell what that is, so I'm gonna say I don't know. And the same with Magi. I'm not sure if I'd like this. It's possible I would, but I don't know about it. Future Diary goes here. Fruits Basket. Ooh. I'll say I'd like to watch it at some point. It's kind of a classic anime at this point. And I'm gonna skip to the end for this one because I want to save a little bit to talk about these two. I don't know Grimoire of Zero, so I'm just gonna drop that in there. Spy Family. Spy Family is easily one of my favorite anime. Easily. It is a lot of fun. It has something for everybody, I think. But if you are expecting a wholesome romance that goes somewhere and has resolution, do not watch this show. Or rather, if you're expecting it, you're going to be disappointed with the show, I should say. There is no conclusion. At least yet. I mean, we're only, into season 3, I think is coming up? There is no conclusion yet. And as far as I can tell in the manga, there is no conclusion there either. So if you're hoping for that, to see that this season, chances are you're going to be out of luck. So, but that said, it's very funny. It's very wholesome. I think if you have a family that you want to watch this with, or even just a significant other, or even like your immediate family, you know, sister, brother, father's mother, as long as they don't detest the idea of anime in general, and are willing to sit down and actually watch this, I think everybody can find something they like, because Lloyd is very protective of Anya. Even more so, Yor is protective of Anya because she sees her as like her adoptive daughter. Anya loves both of her parents, even though Lloyd's just kind of using them, and to an extent Yor is too, but I think Yor's got a better grasp. More she has a stronger connection, I think is the phrasing. She has a stronger connection to the family than Lloyd does, but I think Lloyd has these feelings and thoughts, just hasn't acted on them yet. You know, like he's not, I don't even know how to say it. He can't understand his feelings yet, but it's getting there, and I'd like to see that develop. In the last season, we saw Yor genuinely have a moment of like, dang, if I die, who's gonna take care of my family? Maybe I should be really careful about this? Maybe I should stop? I would love to see that. I mean, I don't know. I'm a big teddy bear. I'm over here like, these guys need to give up their you know, professions and stuff and just be a family and live happily ever after. That it's so cute, the concept. I hope that happens. This is one of my favorite shows. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is an S tier show. At me. I personally think it's a very fun show. I love it. And Tokyo Revengers. Is Tokyo Revengers the greatest show ever made? Heck no. Not even close. Is it the worst show ever made? No, it's not. It's really not. I think a lot of people like to crap on Tokyo Revengers. It has a lot of plot holes. It has a lot of issues. Takemichi is very, he's kind of useless, if I'm being honest. I don't hate the show. I am looking forward to the next season when it inevitably drops. As much as my sister? No, but I do look forward to this when it eventually comes out. Personally, I think the vitriol it gets is extremely unfair. I think it's not cool the way that people like to target other people, and point them out and say like, you know, hey, this is bad, or this, you know, you should feel bad about this or that. I'm not gonna be that guy. I think this is one of those shows that if you haven't actually watched the show, you really shouldn't have much of an opinion on it, because there's nothing wrong with it. It's honestly a decent show. It's kind of fun. The characters are relatively wholesome, even as they beat the snot out of each other. It really makes you want to root for what's happening, but from what I understand in the next arc, things go very sour very quickly, so... Oh boy. From what I've seen so far, I would put this as a mid B tier. I'm gonna put it right over JoJo. I think these two. No, you know what? I'm gonna move it above One Punch. I would watch this before I'd watch One Punch, truthfully. But yeah, so you can see I'm very picky about the shows that I actually watch. I have watched a good number of these. Let's see. I think of all of these, I've actually seen all of these, no question. Would like to see. I have actually watched the first episode of Mob Psycho, but I never got a chance to really advance on that, so I don't think it's fair to say like that I have watched it. That said, hard to say. Yeah. So this is my list. I'm gonna post this to Twitter, so you guys have an option to take a look at that. But that is the list today. So if you guys disagree with it, you feel like there's a show that should have been on here. Just to clarify, it says this template is 128 images and was last modified. I almost didn't process the 4 was April. April 27th, 2022. So it has been a minute since this has been produced, but so there's a lot of stuff. It's been over 3 years now since this was released. There's a lot of new shows out there. Maybe we'll look at making a newer one. But whatever the case is, we're going to go ahead and hop right back on over here. And we'll go ahead and start to wrap things up, because I think what's been said is what I want to say, and that's about all there is to it. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, for the couple people that did pop in here. I see I have 7 views on Twitter, so I appreciate you guys hopping over here. Like, you guys are awesome. I love just being able to spend time with you guys and kind of chill and do these different things. My voice is still a little on the rough side from an outing I had a few nights ago, but I think besides that, that's part of the reason I want to get it done early, because I knew tonight I was not going to be feeling up to it. I do apologize for getting this out a lot earlier. If you're hoping to catch me much later, yeah, I may have to adjust the schedule. I just got to see. I'm going where you guys are for the most part, as long as I'm able to actually do it. But yeah, you guys are awesome. Don't forget, I do have a Discord if you want to pop down in there and come say hi. It should be in the description of what we're dealing with here. If you're on Twitter, go to if you're on Twitter, you can go straight to my profile. You can see my Twitch account. Make sure you follow there. And then in there is the link to go to the Discord if you want to hang out with me. Not a lot going on in there right now, but I am actively in there like every day. So just, you know, pop in, say hi. I'm happy to chat with you. Please don't try to sell me anything. I've had a lot of people come by saying like, hey, I'm an artist, I want you to buy stuff for me. I know this is a common issue with VTubers. I don't have the money to pay you guys for stuff right now. I'm really sorry. But if you want to just chat, hang out, discuss your favorite anime, manga, video games, whatever you have, TV shows, like, I enjoy a lot of different stuff, so just pop in there and we'll chat. But you can do that. Yeah, if you are on Twitter, make sure you follow. If you're on Twitch or Kick, follow as well. Subscribe on YouTube. I would love to see you guys, you know, hanging out with me in here and engaging. Love to see some chats. Otherwise, I will be back on Thursday. At least that's my goal, is to be back on Thursday. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Have a good one.